Good evening and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, I'm making my return, and I hope to catch up by this evening with RPG A Day 2020. Yesterday was day 14, and yesterday's term was the word banner. So it didn't take me very long to think about how I was going to, talk about this word banner. As difficult as 2020 has been in many aspects, of my life and of family life and friends' lives and just in general people's lives, when I put it into the context of the role-playing game hobby for myself, 2020 has been a banner year. And what I mean by that is that I've been able to do a lot of things in gaming this past year that I wasn't able to do in 2019, and I probably won't be able to do in 2021. And when I talk about it being such a banner year for me, I've I've attended and run games at four different virtual conventions this year. The first one was Kobold Con, then Total Con, then then it was I believe I did Founders and Legends 3, and then Gen Con. And running two different games, two different adventures that I had written in all four. So I ran a Gangbusters Basic Edition in three of those, and I ran a Bushido RPG adventure in two of them. So it was by far as conventions and attending conventions, although virtually, it was certainly a banner year. It was also a banner year for my accumulating a lot of the materials for my overall collection. So I'm going to switch views here and just give you, I know you can see the bookshelf behind me and I close out every video with the bookshelf, but I just wanted to give you a real quick rundown of, what I've been able to fill in for this year. So not only was the bookshelf a new a new item of 2020, but as you can see, almost I'd say 50% of this was bought just in 2020. So I'm collecting the first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons books. I'm starting to flesh those out, and you can see those, in the far top would be your left hand corner there. Actually, I have Dungeons and Dragons Advanced Dungeons and Dragons first edition through fifth edition there. Above that, you can see the books on top are all the BECMI or BECMI, I call it BECMI, Dungeons and Dragons BECMI soft covers, not the boxes. I got just the rule books there. I've amassed a greater collection of the old TSR box sets, that I hadn't had previously. So I picked up TSR's Conan. I picked up the Two Star Frontiers box sets. I think I had Top Secret already before 2020. Same thing with Gangbusters, but also I have increased. Let's see what else is in there. Twilight 2000. I finally picked up the box set of that. I have Bushido up here, which I think I had in 2019, and I have James Bond up above that. I have my Just this past year, I picked up Palladium. So Palladium Fantasy plus Rifts. So I haven't done a video on Rifts yet. I picked up Call of Cthulhu 7th edition just this past year. I have most of my Four Against Darkness I had previous to this year, um, previous to 2020. I have some Mifrog books that I picked up along the way. 3.0 is 2020. Everything else prior to that, although it was in this year that I believe that I received the first edition and second edition books, which I didn't have. Chalt, I recently picked up this past year. I just knocked over my Gen Con patch, which I just got today, along with my Gary Con, my Gary Con patch and dice. Chalt, I just got this past year. I have Pathfinder first edition. I had probably 2019. I don't recall if I did pick this up this year or not. All of my bloat games, which have been ongoing throughout 2019 and 2020. Down in the next level, I have all of the, thus far, all of the Modifius Conan 2D20 system. Still waiting for one or two more waves of that to be sent over. Next to that, I have GURPS and GURPS Conan, which I just got this year. All right, so those are relatively new. And then just a whole slew of other things. The Star Wars, the D6 system did not have that prior to this year, and so on and so on. There was just so many. This is my OSR shelf over here. A ton of stuff crammed into there. Some of my old board games that I played back in the 1980s that I absolutely loved. So even though they're not necessarily role playing, Wizard's Quest and B-17 and Luftwaffe were three of the board games that I played the most during the 1980s, early 80s to mid 80s. And then just a few more things thrown out here and there. Along the way, I'm slowly eliminating my PDFs that I have stacks and stacks of PDFs from mostly first edition AD&D stuff, and then some Star Frontier stuff that I have there in first edition or in its early editions of that. So now that I have the box sets, I can start getting rid of and clearing out that lower shelf from the binders and empty boxes and such. So anyway, as I was saying, this has certainly been a banner year for role playing for me. Also in 2020, starting around April, I started a campaign, and that campaign for Dungeons and Dragons, the Beckme series, is still currently running. Although we're in a little bit of a hiatus right now, but that ran a good 12 weeks. Fairly consistently every week for 12 weeks, running adventures, in my own world setting. So that was working really well. Great group of people playing along. Some have dropped out, some have come on. So it's that's just the thing with virtual tabletop and playing online is that people have a lot more flexibility to come and go, as they need to. So that's something else that's been new for 2020 is that the amount of gaming that I'm actually doing has been an exponential increase from previous years. The video channel itself. So, my YouTube channel has grown tremendously in the last year. It's probably doubled in size just these last 12 months. So it's been a banner year for the content of this channel. And this channel is almost exclusively role-playing games, whether they be on different platforms is a different issue, but it's exclusively role-playing games. So, it has been a banner year. I mean, unfortunately, there's the downsides to 2020, but for the most part, 2020, and I knock on wood because we still have a few more months to go. 2020 has been a great year for role playing. So, once again, thanks for joining. I hope that you're safe out there and staying safe out there. I look forward to seeing you on the gaming screen sometime soon. And I'd love to hear some of your comments about your banner year, or what the word banner meant for you, if you're running these videos as well. So once again, take care. Have a good rest of the evening, and I look forward to seeing you on the screen sometime soon. Take care.